I get shit done, I have fun. It's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking through.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business Renovator. I'm your host, Coach Phil. Today we're going to be talking about boost your engagement, master 15-second videos. As a start, we're going to start there, but we're not going to end there. We're going to have an interesting conversation about the power of video and other things. But before I jump into that, if you're here watching us live today, thank you for being here. We appreciate that. And if you're watching us on a replay, remember to hashtag replay and let us know when you're watching in from, where you're watching in from. And if you've got a question, a comment, or any feedback, whether you're live here today and or in a replay, send it our way. We'll do our darndest to answer any questions, and we'll take your feedback seriously. To help me keep this show on the airwaves, I have a shameless plug. Here it comes. If you're a business owner, entrepreneur, or want to be one, that assessment is absolutely free, no credit card required. Just go to our website, click on the top right-hand corner, and it'll give you access to your business growth score. Take the assessment. You may find you're right on par, nothing to do, nothing to fix, nothing to change, or you might find yourself somewhere where you're looking for a little bit of help, and maybe it points it out. If you want to reach out and have a conversation, a 30-minute complimentary coaching session, that's also no credit required, no credit card required. Maybe credit, but not a credit card. Anyway, let's get on with the show. I do not want to waste any more time on anything other than introducing my guest, who I'm not known for very long, but I'm excited that he's here. He's got some insights on how to communicate with video. So as we said before, it's boost engagement, master 15-second videos. In today's digital world, concise video content is king. Today on the Business Renovator, our guest will explain more about that 15 seconds and how to capture it and make your brand stand out. We'll dive into the world of Joe Sabatino, the multifaceted American actor, producer, and writer, known for his roles in the iconic shows like CSI and Blue Blood. He is not only a captivating actor, but also a visionary entrepreneur. Alongside his illustrious acting career, Joe is the founder of a thriving marketing company that combines his creative flair and his business acumen with an innovative approach to branding and promotion. Joe's company has earned a reputation for delivering exceptional results, making him a powerhouse both on and off the stage. So without any more time wasted listening just to me, let me bring him right up. There you are. Hi, Joe. Welcome to the show.
Bill, how are you? You know, I loved your intro, the Business Renovator with the tools. I like that. Catchy.
It's amazing what you can do with the tools out there. I got that off of Canva.
I love it. Very cool. Very cool.
We don't have to have all the answers, do we?
No, we don't. And you know what? I know I've learned that no one has all the answers. So it's really great to be networked where you have resources to go to. And that's what your show provides. So that's kind of cool.
Well, that's what we hope to provide. And having people like you on it makes it that much better. I have done them on my own. Oh, my gosh. One of my mentors along the way of reading and studying is T. Harv Eker. And he says, every master was once a disaster.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm a master yet, but I know I was a disaster. I had a video coach guy reached out and he says, Phil, your content's great, but don't do this. Look at the camera, Phil. People don't think you're paying attention to them. Look at the camera. So I've been working on that.
That's great. That's great. I love it.
It's a challenge, though, to stay. I mean, I'm a type of person that likes to kind of move around, and on video, it's way different, right?
Well, that's you bring an interesting point because communication, and when we're in person, we have these certain laws that we abide by, right? And it's, for instance, if I were to meet you in person, I think probably the first thing that I would do is smile when I meet you, right? And then the second thing that I'd probably do is I'd put out my hand to shake your hand. And the third thing that I would probably do is I don't think I'd get too close to you. I wouldn't invade your personal space. I'd probably keep this relationship a comfortable relationship. And what people fail to realize when you're on camera, we have these same laws. But because we're playing in this digital medium, those laws are a little different. So you say to yourself, Joe, how are those laws different? And here's how they're different, because we were just talking and you were just sharing. Most people, when they're on a camera and they have these monitors with people below them, if I was looking at you, I would be looking at you right here.
Yeah.
So it would feel like I wasn't talking to you or paying attention. So intellectually, when we're on camera, we need to obey the laws of the camera. And that's, we talk right to the camera. We look right down the barrel of the lens. So that's number one. Number two, we know through behavioral science, human behavior, neurolinguistic programming, that we generally want to hang out with people who are positive, who smile, versus who are grumpy and have bad energy, right?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
if we know this is fact, why would we not smile? Why would we be low energy? It just doesn't make sense, right? And the third law that we need to really abide by when we're in this medium is the physical space. Now, I'm here, and we call this in Hollywood, this is a medium shot, top of the head to the bottom of my chest. Now, if I want to invade your personal space, how do I do that? Well, I do it like this. Hey, Phil, how you doing? And it's so the reason why we want to give ourselves a medium shot is because you want the person to read your body language. So we want them to read our nonverbal communication as well as our verbal communication. Because think about it. Whenever we talk, we have two forms of communication going on. We have verbal communication and we have nonverbal communication. Now, here's the essence of this. If your nonverbal communication is not in sync with your verbal communication, your nonverbal communication will always betray you. Here's an example of that. If I walk out on stage and I go to my audience, I am Joe Sabatino. I'm really excited to be here. And I'm going to share with you what our company can do and how we can help you. Okay. Is it bad? Well, no, it's probably not that bad. It's mediocre. But if I'm true to my words, I said, hi, I'm Joe Sabatino, and I'm really excited to be here. Well, if I was truly excited to be here, I'd probably come out on the stage like this. Hi, I'm Joe Sabatino, and I'm so excited to be here. And I can't wait to share what our company and how we can help you. It's a different energy.
Yeah.
So we have to be cognizant and we have to be self-aware of our medium and what we're putting out to our audience.
Did you notice I'm a student of learning?
You adapted immediately. I said, wow. I say that to most people and they just go, okay.
I can't reach the keyboard now.
Yeah.
No, I have too much space here too, right?
No, that's fine. That's the bottom line is think about how you are in public, and we want to transfer those communication laws to this medium. But the problem that you see with so many people is they don't understand that they actually act the same when they're on camera as when they're in person, and they haven't made that switch yet. And that's so important because they're just not being self-aware of who they are, what they are. And I always say this too, like I work with a lot of executives and they say to me, Joe, I want to come across better on screen. I want to come across better on my Zoom calls. I want to come across better when I'm on stage presenting. I just want to communicate better. I want to have that executive presence, right? That's the buzzword. So as an actor, the term executive presence, well, that term is synonymous with, as an actor, our character. So if I'm on Blue Bloods and I'm playing a detective, my character, my executive presence, who I am, I have to understand who I am so I can play it. Or if I'm, if I'm in a movie and I'm playing a gangster, it's a whole different executive presence. It's a whole different character. Just the way I hold myself, the way I talk, the way I gesture. Okay. So as a performer, we need to understand our character because it informs, like I said, how we hold ourselves, how we speak, how we gesture. So I always say to every executive, who are you? And they go, what are you talking about, Joe? What are you talking about? I go, no, really, who are you? What's your corporate brand and what's your personal brand? And they always say, well, I don't know. Well, and then they start thinking really hard about it, right?
Mm.
And I always say, well, if you don't know who you are, how can you be consistent in your communication? Make sense? Think about it. Because if I'm the guy who's innovative, educational, thought leader, passionate, fun, entertaining, engaging. If I'm that person, well, when I speak, I have to emulate those qualities, right? And
Yep.
once I know those qualities, it now makes me self-aware to my audience because now I'm aware of what I'm putting out to my audience. And that's the key. Once you're aware, now you can be consistent when you're communicating. So when people think of Coach Phil, oh man, Coach Phil is great. He pumps me up, gives me so much great information. I love going to his show and watching the website, watching the podcast. It's great. You're consistent. And that's what we want. We want to be consistent in our communication so people know and understand what they get when they communicate with us.
Wow, there's a lot of nuggets within that content of information.
A couple.
And it makes me think about, as a business coach, when we're working with our clients,
Mhm.
that we help them get to that point of who
Right.
is it they are, what do they stand for, and how do they
Right.
show up, and is how they're are they dressing for the part authentically, or are they, because they're not actors, they're not putting on a performance, but they're showing up with three words that I like to integrate with everybody I work with, and that's authentic, progressive, and effective. So are they being able to do that and portray that in their 15-second videos, which is kind of what the headline of our show is today? Are
Yeah.
they doing that? That's what I'm hearing what you're saying. It seems to me like it's very similar. It's congruency.
1,000%. You said something very interesting that just hits home with me. You said dressing for the part. Now, I'm going to take this twofold as a performer and as in a corporate executive. Our dress, our appearance speaks volumes to who we are. Now, as an actor, the mere fact of your dress really sets the tone of who you are without even saying a word. Like I said, if I'm playing a police officer and I'm in a uniform, it's going to inform how I talk to the person I'm playing opposite of. But if I'm playing a gangster and I'm in a Tommy Bahama shirt with gold chains and I got a cigarette in my hand, it's a whole different swag that I'm bringing to the camera. So our dress is so important, and I think people don't really put enough emphasis. Like I've dealt with a number of CEOs in tech, and I primarily work in tech. And they would come on the stage or on Zoom in that jeans and t-shirt look because they're, hackers, security experts, whatever. And, and I said, well, what are you trying to, put out there? Well, I'm a professional. I do this and I do that. And I said, you're a young guy, you're a good looking guy, or you're a young woman, you're a good looking woman. I said, it would kind of be cool. And if you want to show how professional you are, if you came out there in jeans, a button-down shirt, and a suit jacket, you'd set the tone of who you are. And I can't tell you how many, now when they go out and they speak, they look like James Bond when they're up on that stage. And it really sets the tone and informs the audience of who they are.
Sounds like packaging to me.
Yeah,
Which is
basically.
a major point. Whether it's no matter what, if it's something on the shelf in a store, it's packaged in a way that it's getting our eyeballs on it to pull it off. We believe in what they're expressing in that labeling, right? And
yeah, 100%, 100%. Totally agree with you.
So that might be a good segue into talking about the power and the impact of short videos. Although,
Okay.
now that I've just said that, I like the 15-second video idea, so we'll talk about that. But I've noticed some of the platforms are changing to longer, like the TikToks and YouTubes, and they're pushing shorts. I don't think they're short of shorts. That was a little bit of humor on my part, apparently very little. But now they're also stretching them to like 10-minute chunks. So let's not focus on the 10 minutes. Let's focus on why we're here today, the short versions and some of the ways and impact, ways to do it and the impact of doing it.
Yeah, I think I noticed this when I was producing my television show, Necessary Roughness, about 10 years ago for Sony and the USA Network. And viewing habits of people change as time goes on. First it was readership is going down, obviously, for the last 15 years. Magazines, newspapers, it's kind of just plummeting, subscriptions and whatnot. So it's moved to video, and people like consuming video, and it was the short videos. They were hitting hard, and people, just didn't have time. But now people have moved from the quote unquote, television viewing to now everything's online. And now you have a lot of people that, they find their subject and they really want to dial into it. So, like you said, there's the power of the 15-second video. There's the power of the 5 or 10-minute video. And then there's the power of the 2-hour podcast. Because, for instance, Joe Rogan will have Andrew Huberman, they'll have 2-3 hour podcasts, Whitney Webb, whatever. So I think that we should play in all of this. But, when we're online, and if we want to become an influencer, if we want to quote unquote publicize our business, let's think about it. Wherever your audience is online, attention is our currency. Attention is our currency. So, and that's great, because when you think about it, as long as we're garnering attention, that's what we want. That's the whole game. And really, online, our perception is really reality. And when you think about it, it really it brings me to like a primary law of human psychology is people judge us by our appearance, right? Primary law. And then the information that we're giving, but it's first by our appearance. And now the easiest thing to do is these are what I call the 15-second videos. Why I say 15-second videos and not 30-second videos is because whether you realize it or not, in a 15-second video, you could say 4 sentences. That's a lot of information. If they're long sentences, 3 sentences, still a lot of information. But think about it this way, and this is for everyone out there. If you want to get free advertising, free marketing, create attention for yourself, create a perception for yourself, because we all know online perception is reality.
Mm.
And here's the thing, and some people might disagree, but I will argue this point with anyone. You do not, and I repeat, you do not have to be the best at what you do. You don't. Today, you don't have to be the best. You don't have to be the best carpenter. You don't have to be the best lawyer. You don't have to be the best business coach. You don't have to be the best cybersecurity expert. But what you have to be is the best marketer. Because when you're the best marketer, now people know who you are. And that's the key. So today, the beauty of it is we have the opportunity to advertise ourselves, and it costs us, it's a round number, 0. It costs us nothing. And we can advertise ourselves. So the reason why I really, leaned into the 15-second video was I have a lot of friends who are marketers, and we all talk, and, who's head of marketing for ESPN, who's head of marketing for Auto Trend, who's head of marketing for Universal Studios. And we go back and forth. And there have been a number of studies, and any video that goes past 28 seconds, generally, when you're online, there's a 98% drop off. A 93% drop off. So that's a lot of eyeballs that aren't hearing your message. And the beauty of a 15-second video is now most people will say, I can't say everything I do in a 15-second video. So most people look at that as a negative, and I say, how great is that?
Yeah.
And they go, Joe, what are you talking about? How great is that? I go, how great is that? Because you can make a lot of videos now. And you could, drop just a little nugget in each of your videos. And now instead of 1 2-minute video that you want to talk about your company, now you have 10 videos. Now you have 14 videos. So now you got 2 weeks worth of videos. I don't know. That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it is.
Constantly out there creating attention.
And what I like about that is how we're planting a seed in the minds of the people that we could serve.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting to, instead of pushing ourselves upon them, we're entertaining them. And in the entertaining moment, if we're consistent and they like what we're talking about and they've got a problem we can solve, they'll reach out to us. Now we're pulling them in. And when we pull people in, there's a higher percentage of success in terms of being the server that they want to work with versus the pushing. I don't have scientific proof or a document or a white paper on this, but I would, based on my intuitive and experiential knowledge around all of this, I would say it's 80% pull will convert and 20% push will convert. That means that 80% of the push approach, right? You're throwing enough, you're like those people that think they need to tell everything all in like one clump. They have this attitude, they're throwing shit on the wall, hoping some sticks, and whatever sticks is what people will buy. It doesn't work that way, does it?
Right. No, and there's been tons of studies. And whenever you're talking to people, maximum, people are going to retain is maybe 3 things you say. That's it. So, you could do that longer video. That's fine. But I think that most people make the mistake of they always want to sell something. And I'm like, stop selling.
Yeah.
Stop selling. It's you just want to drop nuggets, you want to give information. Yeah, you can have people, come to the web, CTA call to action, have them go to your website, but give of yourself. Let people see that of you because we all get it. We're on LinkedIn or generally I work off of LinkedIn and everybody's selling something. And the person that sends me that long email is trying to sell me. It's more of, oh my gosh, give me a break. So provide information, actually position yourself where you're a resource for people. And then the more they see you, the more trust you build in them and they have for you. Oh my gosh. Who is this guy?
Who's that guy? Joe Sabatino. That's your LinkedIn page, which I'm having a heck of a time bringing up the banner to let people see it. Oh, here we go. There it is. So if you're looking to find him, to find Joe on LinkedIn, that's how you can do it, LinkedIn, and go to look for Joe Sabatino. And it's easy. I did that and I found him. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I just put that in there because you were talking about LinkedIn and that's where people could find you. Yeah. And there's another place I'm going to point them to as I navigate through this. Hang on. We're going to go here. And did I do a banner for it? I did. Now let's bring it up. There it is. Wow. So this is your website, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is my website, and I'm a communications guy, marketing guy, and my website, as performers, we're communicating, and generally when you go on my website, you'll see, and I might have 4 or 5 clips of different shows I've done, and generally that plays when you go on the website. But it's about how can you market yourself and your business and be more effective, and how can you grow your digital space, because that's what it's all about. The people today that actually concentrate on growing their digital footprint, those are going to be the people that 2 to 3 years from now are going to be thriving in their business.
So now, one of the things I hate about my show, and it seems I say this all the time, it comes to an end. We're not quite at the end yet because I want you to share some of the nuggets that will help people with their 15-second videos. Sure. What are some of the things you could share with us?
Okay, great. I would urge everybody to get ready to take some notes because I'm going to drop these in bullet points. So you're doing your 15-second video. First thing you want to do is you want to use AI. And you can go to Perplexity, you can go to ChatGPT, you can go to Claude, you can go to wherever. And everybody goes, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? Very simple. You're going to prompt any of those AIs, and you're going to say, I want you to act as a professional copywriter. And I want 15-second video scripts of my business, which is blah, 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 blah. And I want them humorous, or I want them serious, whatever you want, whatever your brand is. And say in bullet point form, create 30 of these video scripts. And it'll knock it out in about 3 seconds. Then when you get those scripts, you might go, oh, I don't know if I like them. The idea is 80% of the context will be there. And then you just read them and tweak them how you like it. So now you got 30 video scripts, 15 seconds each. And, the search engines might write them a little longer. So you just chop them down, make them work for you. So that's quick and easy. Number one. Number two, you're going to go to a editing software called CapCut. Now, I'm the worst when it comes to computers and learning stuff. So what I did was I went on YouTube and I watched I don't know, 4 or 5 tutorials on how to edit on CapCut. And now you can take your handy dandy phone, and once you shoot your videos, and you shoot your videos anywhere. I go out in my backyard. When I'm at the gym, if I get an idea and I'm working out and I'm sweating, I go, hey, I'm working out in between sets. You know, you want to let people into your life because we talk about authenticity. And today it's about letting people see you. Because when they see you, you give them a window into your soul, and now they feel who you are. So that when they're talking to you, you're breaking down that, you know, business to business barrier. And now you're just talking like two people. And that's where we are today. So you want to let them see you. And you're going to go to CapCut. And what you're going to find is in the beginning, like everything, it's a little challenging. But once you get it, a 15-second video now, I can literally edit in 5 minutes.
Oh, that's pretty quick.
Yeah, it's very quick. It's very easy. But you got to learn it. And you can put music to it. It's so fantastic. And now those 30 videos, once you edit a video, I don't recommend putting it up. I would edit all 30 videos, and maybe out of those 30 video scripts, you like 20 of them. So you got 20 videos. I would edit all 20, and I would create a video bank, and I would get 20 or 40 videos. And once I probably would get like 40. Once I get 40, now I have videos for the next couple of months.
Mm.
And what we do is we don't chase content. So now I have all the videos in my phone. So when I wake up in the morning, I just post it. And now I'm just putting it out there. And what am I doing? I'm creating attention to my brand, to my business. Very, very important. And I also want to say a big third nugget is when you shoot your videos, I want everyone to do this exercise. It's such an important exercise. You're going to shoot your video, and then I want you to play your video back and watch it. But I want you to play your video back, and when you watch it, I want you to turn the sound off. Now you say, Joe, if I turn the sound off, I won't hear my message. Exactly. Because what you want to do is you want to look at yourself and you want to be objective and go, wow, who is this person? Are they happy? Are they excited? Are they passionate? Are they engaging? You want to be hitting on all of those cylinders, because if you can't answer yes to those 4 things, then you might want to do the video over. And I learned this lesson about 15, 20 years ago when I was shooting the movie Batman and Robin with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he was playing Mr. Freeze and I was playing Frosty. And we were shooting it at Warner Brothers, and the director, Joel Schumacher, he taught me such a valuable lesson. We shot our first scene together, Arnold and myself, and then he yelled cut, and he brought us over to the video monitors. And he says, guys, I want you to watch your scene. And we go, oh, okay, great. And he goes to the sound person, kill the sound, kill the audio. And Arnold looks at me and I look at Arnold and I'm like, we're not going to hear ourselves. And we watch the scene with no sound. And after the scene, Joel says to Arnold, and thank God he asked Arnold first. He says, Arnold, after watching your scene and your portrayal of Mr. Freeze, is there anything that you can do to make your character more menacing? And Arnold says, actually, Joel, there is. And he actually said, actually, Joel. But he says, actually, there is. And Joel said, what would you do, Arnold, to make your character more menacing? And he says, well, I'd probably make my eyes more demonic. I'd probably talk to Joe, Frosty, his character, and maybe I'd raise my chin a little so I'm looking down on him. And he says, and I wouldn't move around a lot. I'd be more stoic. And Joel says, okay, that's great. And then Joel says to me, Joe, if Arnold does that, what would you do? And I said, wow, Arnold does that. We're in the snow cone factory. That was Arnold, Mr. Freeze's lair. I said, I'd probably be shivering because we're in the snow cone factory, number one. And combined with that, I'm threatened by him because he could freeze me at any time and kill me. So I'd probably be shivering. And he goes, okay, good. And I go, I think I won't look at him head on. I'll probably look at him like with a side eye because I don't want him to think I'm confronting him. I want him to know I'm, subservient to him. And I'd probably be blinking a lot when I'm talking to him because I'd be so nervous. So Joel said to us, he goes, gentlemen, exactly. Now what I'd like you to do is reshoot. We're going to reshoot the scene. I want you to be in that zone for the rest of the movie. And as we were walking back to the set, Arnold looks at me and goes, Joe, we just got a good acting lesson, no? And I said, yeah. So what a great lesson. And it was so powerful for me that every client I work with, how I get such dramatic changes in people is when they see themselves with no sound, and now they can actually and objectively critique themselves positively. Now they see themselves and they go, oh my gosh, I'm not as happy and go lucky as I think I am. Now I'll do it again. I'll force a smile. I'll force being, up energy. Then I'll watch it again with the sound off and they'll say, oh my gosh, I felt so phony, but it looks so good. And once you can intellectualize that, now when they smile, they can be authentic because they know it's really good. It really works. And then they can be true and they can believe it. So you have this whole metamorphosis that'll take effect and it'll be instant because everyone wants to show really good. So with executives, this is something that when you go to a sales training, everybody forgets the sales training in a week and just does whatever they do. But when it's about public speaking and presenting yourself, everybody is so nervous about looking bad that everybody tells me, they go, Joe, I hear you. People that I've trained 10 years ago, Joe, I still hear your voice in my head.
Yeah.
And it works. So it's kind of cool. So I think that is a big takeaway. And, those 3 or 4 nuggets, if you do that, it'll change your world when you're online, when you're on video.
That's fantastic. I could talk to you for quite a bit longer, but we have lives to live, and we don't want to make it. I haven't got the power yet of a 3-hour podcast, so I'm shooting for 30 to 40 minutes. We're kind of in that space. But before I wrap this up, I'm going to invite you to hang out, and when we push you in the green room, hang in there for a little bit with you while I wrap this show up shortly. But I want to share these with you here. Normally, I would wait till the end of the show, when I've got the guest in the green room and talk about them. But I want to share with you eyeball to eyeball what I got out of this for me, right? And that was, I like the idea of the video bank, do 20 to 40 or 30 to 40 at a time. And the reason I like that is Brian Tracy, who we're affiliated with, says focused effort, concentrated effort. So when you're doing it all in the same space, you're doing it all at the same time in the same momentum, same energy, same everything. And there's a stream of consciousness that's congruent. Then you go back and look at them. You can ditch the ones you don't like, which is okay. But your efficiencies are better because you concentrated focused effort. I like that. And this thing you just at the end, that was boom. It was an explosive moment for me, and that was to watch the video with no sound and critique yourself with the intent of being better for the people that are watching you. I love that. So what you what you also shared was the director at the time was, and what you repeated was, he was a brilliant coach because he got you two to come up with the solution for the problem that he saw without telling you. He said, you guys are assholes. You're not on point. You're not, nobody wants to perform like that, right?
100%.
He pulled it out of you. He directed and coached you to a better place. And for us as the viewers, we got a better experience of the movie.
Right. And and that's why when the client sees themselves and coaches themselves, I always say this is my mantra. A good coach will always work themselves out of a job.
Yep.
And that's a good thing, because like in the Bible, I don't want to catch the fish for you. I want to teach people how to fish so they can feed themselves and feed the village. So at the end of the day, it's about teaching your clients how to coach themselves.
Absolutely. Well, like I said, I could talk to you for quite a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
So on that, I might ask you to come back later on in the year, or maybe near the end of the year or something, and share some more wisdom with people to help them. Mm-hmm. And we'll see where that goes. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for being here. I'm going to pump you in the green room, and I'll be back with you shortly.
Sounds great. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it. And everyone else, have a great, great day. And if you want to reach me, you can reach me through joesabatino.com or joe@joesabatino.com. That's my email.
There you go. Cool. And of course, this place as well, LinkedIn. Go look for them there. Appreciate it, man. Well, I don't know about you, but I learned some stuff. It's one of the things I like about being the host of the show, is I get to go find some interesting people. Whether they're famous or infamous, doesn't really matter, just as long as they're interesting. And in this one, he's kind of famous and very interesting. So we kind of hit both sides of the coin that time. As always, I like to wrap up with this little nugget, and I've got my AI tools getting in the way. We'll get them out of there so we can bring this up, because I want to remind you to always be your wonderful self. The you represents you. You're unique, and you truly are wonderful. The world needs more of you and more of me and more of Joe and everybody else. So let's continue to be our wonderful, unique selves. Until next time, I'm Coach Phil, the host of the Business Renovator.
I get shit done, I have fun, it's my time and I'm the one. I'm breaking